And welcome everybody to Speed Weeks, or to preseason Thunder at Daytona International Speedway, or I should say Speed Weeks at Daytona International Speedway here on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. As yours truly here, James Qualls is here, excuse me, for as we're bringing back two series at the same time here. Not only running season 32 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series, but also season 3 of the NNSCRA Mello Yello Racing Series as well too, which this season in the Mello Yello Series will be using the Aero 88 mod. And finally, the Castrol GTX Cup Series finally is going to be doing the Min Cup 19 mod, as you saw earlier on the NNSCRA Facebook post. And we're going to do something a little differently to kick off Speed Weeks at Daytona. We'll be doing qualifying for both the Goody 300 Mello Yello Racing Series event, and of course the Castrol GTX Cup Series Daytona 500. But today it's the Goodies 300 qualifying from Daytona, and we'll have the first car out here right now. So next car up to qualify here is car number 2, Dylan Young in the Detroit Gasket Buick this season in the Mello Yello Racing Series, as he brings his Buick V6 up to par here as he comes down the backstretch now. Of course, Dylan will have the number 2 car in both series this season as well too, both this series and in the Castrol GTX Cup Series with the Miller Lite Ford in that series. He comes off to number 4. Dylan will take the green flag, I should say. Of course, last time we had this series was back during season 30 of the Cup Series, and Dylan Young won the championship in both this series and the Cup Series as well too in the same season. There, both season 2 of the Mello Yello Series and season 30 of the Cup Series. As he heads into turn 3, he's also a former Daytona 500 champion. So he hopes to pull up a Goodies 300 win himself too, as he comes on turn number 4 right now. Time to beat 47.967 seconds for Dylan Young. See what the lap's going to be the start finish line. Takes the Buick to start. Takes the Buick across the checkered flag, and not a good lap for Dylan Young. 49.214 seconds at only, and I say only, 182.875 miles an hour. So Dylan Young is second quick out of the 2 cars that's run so far here at Daytona. So next car up to qualify right there, and you look at that number 3 car. That is actually not Cole Beaver driving this car. Actually, Beaver has this paint scheme in the Cup Series this season, but he has a different Goodwrench car for this series, the Mello Series, and you'll see it a little bit later on. This is actually Nathan Ormond driving this number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet as part of the 2-car team between he and Cole Beaver, driving this car as he's on his time lap right now. Ormond, of course, coming off his best finish in the Castrol GTX Cup Series season 31, and he finished the season number 4 in the points, and he's by the way stays with a good number 18 interstate battery scheme car for this coming season in the Cup Series. But driving the Dale Earnhardt scheme this season running the 2 Dale Earnhardt schemes in the Cup Series, in the Mello Yello Series this season. He brings the car to turns number 3 and 4 again. At 47.967 seconds is the time to beat. Ormond comes across start finish line, takes the checker flag, and just missed the pole here. 48.005. The time on that lap. His speed 187.481 miles an hour. So Nathan Ormond. It's going to take me a while to get used to this car not being Beaver, by the way, in this series at least. But Ormond currently number 2 quick right now out of 3 cars. So next up, car at the qualifying, got another Buick in the field here. That's the number 5 Advanced Auto Parts Buick, driven by Bill Parker, as he's roars into turn number 3 on his warm-up lap here, as you got a lot of Buicks in the field, by the way. So there's 14 of them in this field so far this season. 14 Buicks as the manufacturer's breakdown here. 14 Buicks, 9 Chevrolets, 8 Pontiacs, 5 Fords, and 4 Oldsmobiles will be running this season. That is the manufacturer's breakdown for the Mello Yello Racing Series, as Parker is on his first lap, or is on his qualifying lap, I should say. As we mentioned, there's only one qualifying lap in both the Goody 300 and Daytona 500 qualifying this season. Parker will also be driving the 5 car this season in the Cup Series, by the way, as well, too, with the Kyle Larson colors, by the way, on his Chevrolet. But right now, Parker brings the Advanced Auto Parts Buick coming off turn number 4 on his qualifying lap. 47.967 is the time to beat for the pole. And he is the 5th car to qualify, or 4th car to qualify, I should say, in the lap. 48.867 seconds, 184.174 miles per hour. So Parker currently 3rd out of 4 quickest so far here at Daytona. So with Phil Parker slowing down on the backstretch right now and heading on the pit road, we now bring up another Buick. This is Paul Minnick at the wheel of his number 6 Southern Biscuit Flour machine. Minnick, the 5th car to qualify here for the Goody 300. Now, unlike the Daytona 500 qualifying, which of course has the only the front row locked up, or locked in, I should say, here, and the rest of the field, positions 3 through 40 being determined by the Gatorade Twin 125 qualifying races. This race, the Goody 300, will be lined up as they have qualified for this event there. So where you qualify for this race there is, of course, where you start for the race there. And there's no qualifying races in the Mello Yello Racing Series. So Minnick, of course, on his timed lap, he will have to try to beat a 47.967. So far, nobody is able to do so. So far, Nathan Ormond has come close to that, and so far, they come through turns number 3 and 4. Minnick keeping that car on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see what happens off turn number 4, and he's gonna try to keep the car on the bottom on the back stretch, the front stretch. See if that works for him. Minnick comes across the start-finish line, not quite, a 48.878 second lap, time lap, I should say. His speed, 184.132 miles an hour, so not quite as quick as what we saw Phil Parker do. And he is the 4th out of 5 cars that's qualified so far for the Goody 300. So next car to qualify here in just a moment. So with Paul Minnick done with this qualifying lap here, we now go to Destin Bowling. This is a new name in the series I've done, by the way, too. He is a rookie in the Mello Yello Racing Series as he taps the welcome on turn number 4 in his Skull Bandit Buick. He will be the 6th car to qualify, driving car number 7 this season. That is the 1987-88 Harry Gant colors he's driving here in the, at least his Busch Series colors at least, as he goes into turn number 1 now on his qualifying lap. Again, the time to beat 47.967. That's set by Jackson Haywood, the first car to qualify. Nobody said, the last few drivers has not been able to come close to his qualifying lap. The last 2 drivers, I should say, here, and so far, the order right now is Jackson Haywood is your pole sitter right now. 2nd is Nathan Ormond. 3rd is Phil Parker. 4th is Paul Minnick, and 5th right now is Dylan Young. That's how they qualified so far. Let's see what Destin Bowling does. Coming off turn number 4, across the start-finish line, and his lap, not a good one, 48.917 seconds on his lap at a speed of 183.985 miles an hour. His speeds are getting a little bit slower the last few cars that's run here at Daytona. here in the Goody 300 qualifying, so we'll see what happens. So Destin Bowling gets slowed down. Here's our next car to qualify. So that now brings up the other good wrench Chevrolet that we were talking about here. We talked about the one that the number 3 car being driven by Nathan Ormond. Well, here's the guy who usually does drive the number 3. It's in the number 8 Dale Earnhardt car this season. This is Cole Beaver driving this machine. Some associate sponsors on that number 8 machine this season. Here he was with the number 3 car last season in the Mello Yello Racing Series, with AC Delco as a sponsor on that car. Beaver comes off the banking, begins his timed lap again. The time to beat 47.967. As Beaver makes his way through turns number 1 and 2, a little bit running the middle line just a little bit through that corner. But don't worry for you Beaver fans. He is in the number 3 car this coming season in the Cup Series, by the way, with the Good Wrench scheme. Beaver, the season 1 series champion in the Mello Racing Series, did it driving the number 3 Good Wrench colors. So he's won the championships in all 3 series the 3 series: the Cup, Xfinity Cup, Mello Yello, and the Truck Series, all in Dale Earnhardt colors. Well, I should mention too. Beaver takes the checker flag, 48.772 seconds for Beaver on his lap. His speed 184.532 miles per hour. So Beaver a little bit quicker than some of the others that have qualified. The last few others, I should say, has qualified for this event. So Beaver currently right now 3rd quickest at this moment for the Goody 300. So coming on the racetrack right now is our next car up there. This is our 8th qualifier up to the 8th car up to qualify right now, I should say. This is James Sykes driving the 00 Thomas Brothers Country Ham Oldsmobile is what he's driving here in this race this season. Car 00, that's the Sam Ard owned machine that Brett Bodine drove in the Busch Series back in 1987. Yeah, that Sykes is driving here today, this season, I should say. Driving not only in this series, but also drives for Front Row Motorsports next season. This season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, as he's on his time lap right now. Last few cars have slowed down qualifying wise as far as speeds are concerned. They're about the 183, 184 mile an hour range here. Pole speed still 187.629 miles per hour for the set by Jackson Haywood, the first car up to qualify. And let's see what James Sykes does as he comes off turn number 4 here. The Thomas Brothers Country Ham Oldsmobile coming off the 4th turn to the start-finish line. Let's see, he'll take the checker flag, and his lap is a good one of 48.249. The lap for James Sykes, his speed 186.533 miles an hour. So James Sykes currently 3rd quickest right now out of the 8 cars here at Daytona, and James Sykes, by the way, one of Quentin Moore's drivers here. That Quentin, of course, himself will be will be one of the last cars to have to qualify in this session. So, but for now, James Sykes currently number 3 quickest right now. And that will bring up a second Ford that's in the field this season in the Mello Yello Racing Series. This is car number 06. That is Zachary Fitzwater driving the machine. He also has Carolina Ford Diors as a sponsor on that machine, much like Jackson Haywood does this season. As you see Fitzwater kind of touched the wall a little bit, no damage to that in the 06 machine. And he'll take the green flag for his timed lap here at Daytona. 47.967, again the lap to beat. Set by that same Jackson Haywood I'm talking about. And this is not a KAB Enterprises machine, by the way, too, that Fitzwater is driving this season, by the way, too, as there's 2 KAB cars this season, as I mentioned, with Jackson Haywood and Keith Batson both driving the machines for out of that stable this season. Fitzwater just driving for his own team, and usually a threat anywhere on the NNSCRA Tour. As he'll come through turns number 3 and 4, see what his lap's going to be right now. Keeps the car on the bottom of the track. He's going to do the same thing Paul Minnick did right there. Try the bottom lane on the front stretch. See if that works for the 06 car. Ugh, and he's not going to like that lap. 49.245, and that is the slowest of the qualifiers so far out of the 9 who have qualified so far. His speed 182.760 miles per hour. So Zachary Fitzwater, currently the slowest car right now, but we still got plenty of cars left to go. And that next car to qualify right now is car number 10. This is Ryan Braumer at the wheel, driving the number 10 Mobil 1 Chevrolet. As he's also got an associate sponsor. See what it is here. MJ Sullivan is whoever that is. The MJ Sullivan Mobil 1 Chevrolet on the racetrack right now. Ryan Braumer, the driver this season. Nice simple paint scheme. That's the thing with this Busch Series back then. Had a lot of simple paint schemes. There were some flashy ones occasionally, but which of course in some ways the flashy ones didn't come until the 90s, but still. But here they come into turn number 1 here, he comes into turn number 1. There's only one car on the track. But this is the oldest cars I've done for any of my Mello Yello series cars, by the way, to the Aero 88 machines. And these are Busch Series cars from between 1984 to 1989, by the way. Braumer brings up in turn number 3. He'll be driving this car this season in the Mello Yello series. He'll be driving also for the number 71 team this season in the Cup Series. And he comes off turn number 4 down the bottom of the track here, this time on the front stretch. See what his checker flag waves, see what his lap's going to be. And Braumer's going to be third quickest out of the 10 cars that qualified. 48.073 the time. His speed 187.215 miles per hour. So Braumer with a great qualifying lap that puts him third quickest right now, behind Nathan Ormond in second position, and the leader and pole sitter right now for the time being, the car of Jackson Haywood. So as Ryan Braumer pulls it into the pits right now, we have our next car up is the number 11 Skull Bandit Chevy Monte Carlo. This is one of the few Monte Carlos we actually had this season in the Mello Yello Racing Series. And this name you actually recognize also from the NNSCRA Pizza Hut Truck Series about a year or so back. This is Phil Mosco driving this machine, number 11 Skull Chevrolet. Bale making the rookie appearance in the Mello Yello Racing Series, and this is also the first series Bale will be driving. I don't know if this is a she or a he, by the way, but I'm taking this as she because Bale sounds more like a girl's name. But anyway, enough of the gender confusion. But Bale takes the green flag here. We'll bring it through turns number 1 and 2 right now. Bale being I believe the 11th car, I should say, to qualify for the Goody 300. Through the third and fourth turns they come here. Vale on a pretty good lap, looks like, right there. Through the turns they usually scrub off about maybe 3 miles an hour, usually 4 sometimes in some cases. Cross start finish line goes Vale Moscow in a good lap, 48.107. That puts Vale fourth quickest right now. Her speed of 187.083 miles per hour. So track getting a little bit quicker after a few subpar cars there in some ways, but trying to qualify. But that's it. I guess it all depends, of course, on if you find any speed or not. There are some people that's found speed and some people that has not found speed. So Vale Moscow coming on the pit road as she's coming out of pit road here. There's another sheet coming on the racetrack right now. This is Amanda Evans. And this is coming on the racetrack right now. One of the drivers out of Evans Gardner Motorsports. Amanda this season will be driving the number 12 Piper Aircraft Buick. This is the Bobby Allison car from 1988 that he won the Goody 300 with. That Amanda's driving. Again, one of the 14 Buicks in the field. Amanda also will be back behind the wheel of the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, along with teammate Allison Rain, who will be driving the 14 in both series this season too, by the way. The number 14 Coors Light Chevrolet in this series, and the number 14 HighPoint.com Ford, the Chase Briscoe car in the Castrol GTX Cup Series this season. So I'm switching around ride-wise here, as it always seems to be here. And of course I mentioned 14 Buicks in the National, and you ask why this many of the unknown manufacturers in the Cup Series. Well, a little explanation here. The General Motors had been was the leaders of the V6 racing technology, and Buick, believe it or not, was the leaders out of the GM division of V6 racing engines. So there you have it with that. Amanda takes a checker flag on this lap, and it's a pole lap for Amanda Evans. How about that? Amanda Evans is the first driver to knock Jackson Haywood off the pole. And Amanda did it with a lap of 47.957 seconds, speed of 187.668 miles an hour. So that little old Buick still got it there after all these years, eh? So Amanda Evans now is your new pole sitter after 12 cars have qualified. So as Amanda Evans is now the new pole sitter for the event so far in the Goody 300, and here comes Amanda's teammate, Allison Rain, is up now. The Coors Light Chevrolet, car number 14. Kind of an oddball combination. Have team cars there, one being a Chevy and the other being a Buick. Try being them in the Cup Series. They're one's driving a Chevy and the other's driving a Ford. That's going to be how it's going to be for the Evans Gardner team this season. They come to the start-finish line right now. Allison Rain takes the green flag. Time to beat now, 47.957 seconds now here as Amanda Evans beat out Jackson Haywood's lap by 100 of a second. It don't seem like much though, but it makes a whole heck of a lot of difference though when it comes as far as qualifying is concerned. Here, see what Allison does on this lap here. As I mentioned, Allison will be driving the Chase Briscoe car this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, the number 14 High Point Ford. And Allison will tell you that was probably the biggest thrill of her life, seeing finally get to drive her favorite driver's car in a Cup Series event here. And I'm sure she drives I think she drives that car also in Trent Dunham's not Trent Dunham series, but also in Michael Norman's series, the Budweiser All Pro Series here. Allison takes a checker flag, and she's not going to like that lap. 49.209 for Allison, 182.894 miles an hour. Far cry from what Amanda Evans ran. So there's be some close corners in that number 14 pit when Allison pulls that car back into the garage area. So as Allison Rain tries to wonder what's wrong with the car, I guess you might say, on the qualifying lap here, after a not so good qualifying lap, running way up the high side, comes car number 15, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet. This is Stephen Cologne driving this car, the winner in last season's race at the Cluster F that was the Indianapolis Road Course race, which that track will not be back on the schedule. We're running IRP only this season in this series, which will run in conjunction with the Brickyard 400s Cup race, I should say, as Cologne builds up some momentum to get his qualifying lap going. We don't know for sure. We don't know if it's going to be a pole lap yet, but we'll see. Pole time to beat is 47.957 seconds, set by Amanda Evans. That is Allison Rain's teammate. And Stephen Cologne, of course, also making his return to the Castrol GTX Cup Series this season. He'll be driving the number 1 Mopar Dodge Charger this season. That scheme will have that car will have 2 paint schemes. He'll switch back and forth from season to season. Stephen Cologne, of course, did pretty well in the series last season, I should say, too. So he should be maybe see what he does this season here. He'll come to the start finish line right now. Takes the checker flag in the lead by Garrett Chevrolet, and he has snatched the pole from Amanda Evans. How about that lap? 47.912 seconds. He beats Amanda's lap by over 0.04 of a second. His speed 187.845 miles an hour. So Stephen Colon now the new pole sitter for the Goody 300 for the time being. So coming off the corner number 4 to take the green flag here for the next qualifier. This is Audra Baranowskis driving the number 17 Exxon Superflow Chevrolet. This is another Monte Carlo that's in the field this season as they go into turn number 1 here. Audra already with the green flag. That's the team she drives alongside William Brock here, who this season will be driving in the Castrol GTX Cup Series in the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet. He'll be back with that ride this season for the Cup Series. Audra coming down the backstretch right now. She is a regular also in Seth Cole's Duracell Cup Series, alongside of William as well too, as they go through turns number 3 and 4 here. And at the pole time to beat right now, 47.912 seconds. Let's see if Audra can beat that lap here. Off the turn number 4 she comes here to the start-finish line, takes the checkered flag. Number 17 Sunoco, or not Sunoco, but Superflow Chevrolet. And she does beat the pole lap, 47.826 on that lap, and that is almost 1/10 of a second she knocked it down off of. 188.182 miles an hour. So Audra Baranowskis now has the pole for the Goody 300 for the time being, as we still got quite a few cars left to go here at Daytona. So as Audra Baranowskis pulls in the pit road, happy that she's got the pole for now. That will bring up right now another one of the NNSCRA veterans. This is Carson Gum driving the number 21 Chattanooga Chew Chevrolet this season. Car number 21 as they come on the back stretch. Carson looking to have a pretty good season here. He had a good season last season driving the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet last season, and he comes off the 4th turn right now. Carson's not in the Cup Series here, but he's in this series, I should say, too. One of the veterans going back to the Snickers Cup days, I should say, of the NNSCRA. As he goes then in turn number 1 right now, brings that Chevrolet, drifts up to the top of the track there, then goes right back down the bottom. See that dark colored groove right there? That's the groove everybody seems to be running here at Daytona. A lot of people seem to be running, I should say, at Daytona. There's some guys who's dipped down the bottom of the track off the 4th turn, coming down the front stretch here. See if Carson does that or not. But one of the guys looking to have a good season, as we mentioned, in the Mello Yello Racing Series. Pole time to beat 47.826. To see if he does so. Down to the checker flag he goes. Carson across the start-finish line, and oh, did he ever beat that pole lap? Here, 47.637 for Carson Gum. Beats that lap by almost 0.2 of a second, almost 189 miles an hour on that lap. 188.929 to be exact on that lap. So Carson Gum, by almost 0.2 of a second, takes the pole for the Goody 300, with still quite a few cars left to go here. He's got the pole for now, but a lot of tough competition left to go here at Daytona. So next up on the line right now, that powder blue colored Buick is up to the track right now, sponsored by A.G. Dillard. This is the car driven by Caleb Folger. He's one of the rookies in the field this season in both this series and in the Castrol GTX Cup Series as well too. Fogler will be driving the number 48 Lowe Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports this season in the Castrol Cup Series. And this season drives, as I mentioned, for A.G. Dillard in the Mello Yello Racing Series, one of the 14 Buicks in the field, as we mentioned. We mentioned that Buick, of course, is the leading manufacturer of V6 racing engines out of the GM Corporation here, which is strange to me because you would think Chevrolet or even Pontiac possibly since they had the most years in NASCAR. But Buick V6 has actually not only been involved in NASCAR, but also have been involved even in drag racing as well too, in the sportsman in its sportsman categories. So there you have a little history on that, though. Fogler comes off to number 4, 47.637 is the lap to beat for the pole. And let's see what he does on the across the start-finish line. And ooh, that was close. 47.669 for Caleb Fogler. That's going to put him second quick. Right now, his speed 188.802 miles an hour. The speed's getting quicker now here at Daytona. There for a while it was getting slower. Now it's getting quicker now. So this track, it kind of depends on what you get combination-wise for your qualifying lap here. As we mentioned, see, some guys have got speed, some guys haven't. And this man hopes he's got some speed right now on his number 23 Miller High Life Pontiac. This is Daniel Boyles driving this machine, as he is next on the track right now. He'll be doing double duty this season as well too for both the Mello Series and the Castrol GTX Cup Series as well too. He'll be driving the 26 Quaker State Ford in the Castrol Cup Series, and here he's driving the 1984 Davey Allison Busch Grand National car, number 23 Miller High Life Buick. This is Miller High Life Pontiac, I should say. Excuse me, not a Buick. Comes across the start-finish line, starts his time lap, 47.637 seconds is the pole lap to beat for that machine. Nicely turned out paint scheme, nicely turned out car, I should say, for this series here, the number 23 machine. The white and red paint scheme along with the gold wheels on that car. Down the backstretch he comes here. In the third turn goes Boyles. Let's see what he does on this lap here. He is the 18th car to come out and qualify. So we're almost halfway home. 40 cars to start this series here, in both this series and the Castrol Cup Series as well too. So 20 cars will be the halfway point in qualifying. He comes across the start-finish line, and a 48.837 for Daniel Boyles. That does not quite do it. His speed 184.287 miles per hour. So Boyles will pull it into the garage area, and of course, as we mentioned, qualifying doesn't mean a darn thing. It doesn't mean a darn thing sometimes too. It's how the race is, especially with how the racing is usually here at Daytona. So Boyles pulls into the pits here. The next car will come out to qualify here in just a moment. Here in just a minute. So the next car up to qualify, this is the 19th car up to qualify right now. This is James Henry driving the number 25 Moroso Oldsmobile. Guy who drove the number 25 car the last couple of seasons in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. The 25 ride, of course, this season will be taken over by Kyle Matthews, the number 25 Kodiak Chevrolet for that series, for the Cup Series this season. James Henry, of course, will drive the 25 this season in the Mello Yello Racing Series. You saw him go to the bottom line, of course, on the warm-up lap. That's unusual because we've seen some cars go to the top of the track on the warm-up to build some speed up here. Maybe he knows something we don't. We'll see what happens. We'll see if that's going to help his lap or hinder his lap. We'll see which one which. Takes it Mill through the third and fourth turns right now. 47.637, I should say, is the lap to beat. Takes it to the bottom lane of the racetrack here. Comes across the start-finish line for James Henry, his lap. And a 49.048 for James Henry on his qualifying lap. His speed tops out at only, and I say only, 183.494 miles an hour. So James Henry pulls it down to the apron of the track here, and awaits, and as we wait the next car to qualify for the Goody 300. Next up on the line right now, or up on the track I should say, is car number 27, the old Milwaukee Pontiac. This is Logan Williams driving this machine. That's the 1984 Tim Richmond colors he's driving here. Actually, it's Sammy Swindell who drove that car in the Busch Series back in '84. But still, anyway. Logan Williams brings the old Milwaukee Pontiac out to the across start finish line to begin his qualifying lap here at Daytona. Again, 47.637 is the pole lap to beat, set by Carson Gum. And a speed of 188, I should say, 9.929, almost 189 miles an hour, but 188.929 is the pole speed to beat as well, too. So, down the backstretch goes Logan Williams. He's the only series he's running this season, by the way, the number 27 machine. Hear that screaming V6 Pontiac right there coming through turns number 3 and 4. He'll come off turn number 4. A little bit high. Takes it down to the bottom lane on the front stretch. Let's see what happens here. So that may help his lap possibly. And a good lap here, 47.710. And that tallies to a lap of 188.64 miles per hour. So Logan Williams is currently number 3 quick right now out of the 19 cars who I should say out of the 20 cars that qualified. We're halfway, so 20 cars down and 20 cars left to go here in Mello Series qualifying here at Daytona. They say around the NR 2003, they say around the garage areas in NR 2003 offline racing to spell the word Ford, they'll spell it Batson, because here comes Mr. Ford himself, Keith Batson, the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford. They'll be driving this scheme in both this series and in the Castrol GTX Cup Series as well, too. One on a Thunderbird and the other on a 2021 Ford Mustang. Imagine that, if you will. As Batson comes across the start-finish line, former Castrol GTX Cup Series Daytona 500 winner and two-time Castrol GTX Cup Series champion as well, too. This man's just about done it all when it comes to NR offline racing. .637 is the time to be here for the pole. Let's see what Batson does on his lap. He has undoubtedly one of the strongest Fords in all of NR offline racing. Keeps that car on the bottom of the racetrack here. Him and Jackson Haywood, the KAB drivers for this season in the Mello Series. Keith and his wife Kat will be the drivers in the Castrol Cup Series as well, too. Kat will be driving the number 10 Tide Ford for the Cup Series this season. Batson cross start finish line. He's 5th quickest at 47.736 seconds. There is speed 188.537 miles per hour. So Keith Batson, a great qualifying lap for him. As we mentioned, the car's getting plenty quick right now here at Daytona. And this is only just the beginning of the second half of this qualifying session. So like I said, we'll see a whole lot of fast cars left to go here in this session. So coming by to complete his warm-up lap comes car number 31. That is Roberto Crown Jr., another driver who's making this, who's doing double duty this season. Roberto driving not only the number 31 Ford in this series, but also driving the number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac, or Pennzoil Chevrolet, I should say, in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. There's no Pontiacs in the Cup Series this season. Not with the Mid Cup 19 mod, there's not. But the Cup Series is only Ford, Chevrolets, Dodges, and Toyotas there. But this series is Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Buick in this series. But anyway, Roberto driving the number 31 Ford takes off into turn number 3. This is his qualifying lap he's on right now. He's about to take the checkered flag here in just a few seconds for now. Trying to beat a 47.637 for the pole time set by Carson Gum. Dips the average just a little bit, and a decent lap for Roberto, 47.886 for that car. And it tells us a speed of 187.947 miles an hour. So Carson Gum, Roberto Crown Jr. Coming on the apron to complete his lap. So coming onto the racetrack right now comes the number 32 Bud Light Portaloo Buick on the starting on the on the racetrack right now. This is another one of Quentin Moore's drivers. This is Gabby Conklin driving this machine. Gabby, you remember, was Rookie of the Year last season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Comes off turn number 4 right now here to start her first lap. Gabby, of course, we're running double duty this season. She was also running the number 16 Family Channel Ford this season in the Cup Series as well, too. So Gabby looking to maybe have a possible breakout season. We'll see what happens here. Of course, with a teammate like Quentin Moore, though, things can only look pretty good, I should say. Let's put it that way here. Conklin down the backstretch she goes here. Let's see, again, the lap to beat is 47.637 seconds. The lap to beat so far here at Daytona. The lap set by Carson Gum as Gabby comes through turns number 3 and 4 and now brings that red and white Buick off the 4th corner right now. Across the start finish line she goes. As she stops the stopwatch at 48.128 seconds for the Portaloo Bud Light Buick. Speed of 187.002 miles per hour. So just a tick over that 187 mark. So that puts Gabby about middle of the pack right now, qualifying wise, as we have about 22 cars down in the books here at Daytona. So as Gabby Conklin makes her way back to the garage area, we go now to another Buick. This is the number 33 Miller High Life Buick, driven by Nick Gunther. He's at the wheel of his machine. Gunther, of course, no stranger to the NNSCRA. Of course, one of the best NNSCRA online racers in anything he drives, I should say, in online. Not just in NASCAR, but also sports cars as well, too. Gunther makes his way down the cross-start finish line, takes the green flag. He is the 24th car up to qualify for this race so far. Part of that 2-car Miller American team right there. One's Miller American, the other is Miller High Life. You saw Daniel Boyles in the number 23 Miller High Life Pontiac qualified just a few cars earlier. And let's see what Gunther can put up on his lap here. We're starting to see some consistently fast laps right now here at Daytona. He'll cross the start finish line right now. Gunther stops the stopwatch at a 48.180 on his lap. His speed 186.800 miles per hour. So that will put Nick Gunther down on the list right now, and there's several cars left to go here at Daytona. So that now brings up another first-time driver in the NNSCRA Mello Racing Series. This is Chrisman Morgan driving the number 34 Norton's Hyundai Buick, as he is next car up to qualify for this race here for the Goody 300. Got about 14 cars left to go after this car here, as he goes across the start finish line to run his first lap here. As I mentioned, he's a rookie in this series, as we mentioned. First time name in the NNSCRA. Drives off into turn number 1, goes about half a lane up the groove, as we've seen a lot of people have been doing here. They let the car drift up the groove and then just try to corral it back down low, or as low as it'll possibly go. Let's put it that way. Car now screaming into turn number 3, 47.637, the lap to beat for the pole. Let's see if that number 34 car can pull it off. He's off turn number 4 right now. And coming across the start-finish line, completes the lap, and his lap will tally at 48.579 seconds on that lap, and about middle of the pack here. His speed tallies to 185.265 miles an hour. So around the turn on the cool down lap goes the number 34 Buick as he completes his qualifying lap here at Daytona. So as Chrisman Morgan brings the car to the garage area, we now move up to one of the veterans in the NNSCRA or in all of NR 2003 offline. This is Joshua Osborne driving the number 36 Cox's Lumber Pontiac. One of the few Pontiacs in the field, as we mentioned. There are about, again, there are 8 Pontiacs in the field, I should say. So come off to number 4 here. It actually is one of the few Grand Prix in the field here in this series. Taking the green flag, Joshua this season driving the Cox's Lumber 36 in the Mello Yello Racing Series, and in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, he's driving one of the Petty Enterprises cars, the number 45 Spray Chevrolet this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, after 2 seasons with Joe Gibbs Racing in that category. Down the backstretch he comes here. Let's see how fast that 36 car can go. 47.637, again, the time to beat. See out there, and he is coming through turns number 3 and 4 right now. That is the Kenny Wallace paint scheme, by the way, from 1989 to 1991, in case anybody's wondering about this car. Across the start finish line goes Osborne, 47.957 seconds, and that will tally up to a speed of 187.668 miles an hour. So decent lap for the 36 team as Osborne completes his lap here at Daytona. So that will bring up our next qualifier up here. Car number 37, the Crisco Butter Flavor Buick, driven by another double-duty driver. This is Daniel Bouchard, car 37. Bouchard also will be running this season in the Cup Series, driving the number 70 Rumpel Furniture Chevrolet. Off the 4 turn he comes here. Bouchard brings it to the start-finish line to start his qualifying lap. This car, a 1987 Buick he is driving here today. Car drifts up high just a little bit there, now swings it back down low. But Bouchard, of course, winner of 2 races last season in the Cup Series here. I think winner of 3 races in this series a season ago as well too. So Bouchard looking to have another great season. Drove the 74 car last season, defeating the Lube Chevrolet. Now going to Buick this season with the Aero 88 mod. Cross start finish line goes Daniel Bouchard, and so close to the pole, but not quite. 47.640. Just missing the pole out by 3/1000th of a second. His speed 188.917 miles per hour. So still a great qualifying run, and it puts him outside pole, only to Carson Gum at this point. And out now comes car number 44. That is the Piedmont Airlines Oldsmobile, driven this season, and of course this guy will have number 44 in both the series and the Cup Series as well too. He also will be driving for Petty Enterprises in the Cup Series. This is Alex Miller driving this machine. Miller, of course, no stranger to any of my series as well too. A winner 3 times on the Castrol GTX Cup Series Tour overall. And Miller will be making his season debut in the Mello Yello Racing Series as well too. As he goes into turn number 1 right now, starts his time to lap here. As we mentioned, you only get 1 lap as you see, instead of the 2 that they always do at Daytona. Miller brings it down the backstretch as he comes into turn number 3. Time to beat again, 47.637 seconds. We saw the 37 car of Dana Bouchard get darn close to that, though Miller drifts that car up. Miller drifts way up the high side off turn number 4. That may hurt him, and in fact, I think it will hurt him here on this lap. And it does, 49.034 seconds, and I don't think he's going to like that lap a bit. 183.546 miles an hour for the Piedmont Oldsmobile. So coming off turn number 2 here, Miller gets it shut down, brings it back to the garage area as we are down to the final 12 qualifiers here at Daytona. So next up on the track here is another Pontiac. This is car number 47, the Race Hill Farms. I actually can't read the back of the car actually, but one of the Race Hill Farms cars. This is car number 47. This is Jesse Turner driving this machine. He'll be also being driving car number 17 in the Cup Series this season. Here in the NNSCRA Castrol GDX Cup Series. This is the Mello Racing Series he's running as well too. Brings that V6 Pontiac off into turn number 1 here on his qualifying lap. Turner, the man from the state of New York, as he tries to make a run at maybe both championships this season. But Turner, if there's one thing Turner needs once more than anything else, it's a win at Daytona. He's won at Talladega before in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, but never a Daytona win, so he'd like to cross out off his bucket list if he possibly can. He comes off turn number 4 here, brings it to the bottom of the track on the front stretch, cross start-finish line, Turner's lap. And it's a decent one, 47.929 seconds, his speed 187.778 miles per hour. So Turner shuts the Pontiac down here, and we'll bring it back to the garage area. And we're down to about the final few cars left to qualify here in the Goody's 300. And swinging that car onto the racetrack right now and bringing it up to speed, it is car number 51, and it's another double doer in this series for the season. This is Laura Chung driving. It was sponsorship now for this season from Valvoline on her number 51 Pontiac. Laura will be running both series this season. She'll be driving the number 01 U.S. Army Chevrolet in the Cup Series this season as well too. So Laura hoping to have a breakout season in both series. She won last season in this series at Texas Motor Speedway, and Laura got close to a couple of victories last season in the Cup Series. Though she hopes this season will be the season she will win in the Cup Series. So Chung looking to maybe is one of those drivers looking to surprise everybody this season as well too. As she's already taking the green flag for her qualifying lap here at Daytona. In case you're wondering what that bi-style Pontiac is that she's driving, as a Pontiac Ventura she is driving this season in the Mello Racing Series. One of, as we mentioned, 8 Pontiacs in the field as they come off to number 4. And Laura will take it to the start-finish line here. Takes the checker flag on her qualifying lap right now. And she'll stop the stopwatch at 48.906 on her lap. That ties to a speed of 184.027 miles an hour. So Laura Chung shuts her car down and brings it back to the garage area after her qualifying run. We'll see where that will shake Laura up on the sheet after qualifying is over. As we are down to, as the next car up to qualify will be that next car on the track will be the number 52 Red Baron Frozen Pizza Chevrolet of Seth Cole. He's next up to the track now to qualify. As he brings his car down the backstretch, he's still on his warm-up lap here. And that's another one of the Monte Carlos that's in this field here this season, along also with drivers like, excuse me, drivers like udra Baranowskis driving that car. And of course also, I think she was the only other Monte Carlo we've seen there. Oh yeah, Bale Moscow also driving a Monte Carlo this season in the Mello Yello Racing Series. Nine cars left to qualify after this for the Goody's 300 as they come through turns number 1 and 2 now. Or Seth goes through turns 1 and 2. Chris is a little bit high, come out the second corner here. Seth will be driving the number 40. Will be driving this season for number 98. The number 98 Stuart Haas team, alongside Allison Rain for the Stuart Haas team. Of course, Allison has her own team with the Evans Gardner Motorsports. So. But Seth was still running out of his own shop in NNSCRA Motorsports. Cross-star finish line goes Seth Cole, the boss man of the NNSCRA, and he'll stop the timers at a 48.78, 48.780 to be exact, at 184.502 miles an hour. So car 52 brings it around on his cool down lap here as we're 9 cars away from the end of the qualifying for the Goody's 300. So next up the car qualifying right now is car number 63. That is Henry Sanford driving this machine there. Charles's brother driving the number 63 Nescafe Nestea Pontiac. Charles himself, of course, driving the car. Will be driving car number 24 this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Staying with the Jeff Gordon colors in the Cup Series. Of course, we all know the Sanford trio, of course, there. Charles, of course, the head honcho of the three, out of the 3 siblings here. Then you got Henry, his brother, and his sister Jean in that bunch as well, too. Henry brings it off into turn number 1 and 2 right now here as he brings the Nescafe Pontiac. This car, of course, is the Chuck Bound colors from about the 1989, 89 to about the 93 seasons, I should say, is when he drove a 63 machine. Through turns number 3 and 4, he comes here. Henry brings that car off the 4th corner, and let's see what his lap is going to be. The man from the state of California, of course, the Sanford family, of course, all from California. Henry stops the timers at 48.205. Okay lap for him. His speed 186.703 miles an hour. So Henry Sanford brings it off turn number 2 here, and he'll bring the car toward the garage area and get it ready for race trim. So that will bring up our next. So it's about 8 drivers remaining, counting this one right here. This brings up our one of our Canadian faves in the NNSCRA. This is Raphael Duke, driving car number 72, the Kodiak Pontiac, excuse me. He'll be driving a Chevrolet in the Cup Series this coming season as well, as he makes his Castrol GTX Cup Series return after a great season in season 27 when he last ran in that series. As he'll be driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, number 20 Home Depot Pontiac. A Home Depot Chevrolet, I should say, excuse me, not a Pontiac. LeDuc brings it up into turn number 1 right there. Car drifts up to the high side just a little bit. Again, the time to beat 47.637 seconds. The pole time to beat set by Carson Gum. As it brings off corner number 4. Or I'll turn 2 down the back, as to say, not corner number 4. He's coming through corner number 4 right now to take the checker flag, I should say. So I got a little bit screwed up right there. LeDuc, the regular, of course, in the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. That's Levi McIntyre Series, of course, as part of the NNSCRA. And Raphael comes down with a great lap here, a 47.751 second elapsed time. On his lap, his speed 188.9 0.478 miles an hour. So Leduc with a great lap here in the Kodiak Pontiac. So Leduc gets her shut down, and he will see where he'll shake up at the end of qualifying. So as Raphael Duke pulls it into the garage area right now, here comes the next car up, and that is John Andrews, car number 75, the Food Country Oldsmobile, making his qualifying run for the Goody 300. He's on his warm-up lap right now. He comes off the second corner right now. He comes off the second corner, I should say. The car owned by Charlie Henderson. That is who owns the Food Country series of Food Country cars. The team out of Johnson City, Tennessee, is where the team is from. I'm not sure where John Andrews himself is from, but still, anyway. Sometimes better off not knowing where some people are from for security reasons. But anyway, off to number 4 goes the number 75 car. So he brings it to the start finish line to take the green flag on his lap. So Andrews, of course, has spent the last few seasons in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Just missed out on a few rides on the Cup Series here, but he's going to make a run at it for the Mello Racing Series Championship this season. So hopes to, and he has proven to be a winner in the Cup Series. He won it a couple seasons back in that thrilling finish at California, which will be one of the stops for Mello this season, by the way. Off in the third turn he goes as car 75 tries to beat that 47.637 second lap set by Carson Gum. That's the pole lap, so the target pole lap I should think to shoot at. Cross the start finish line he comes, takes the checker flag. John Andrews stops the timers at 48.801 on that lap. His speed 184.423 miles an hour. So it's been kind of fluctuating a little bit, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, but nonetheless, so Andrews will wait and see where he comes out. So next car at the qualifying right now, as the qualifying winds down for the Goody 300, as the next car up is Austin Reed, another new name in this series, as he is driving the number 83 Bullfrog Knits Pontiac. Off the fourth turn they come here, as this is another Pontiac Le Mans body style he's driving here as they come to the start finish line. And Austin Reed runs his first lap here, qualifying for the Goodies 300. Last few cars up to qualify will be Eric Monaco, Matt Haas, Jessica Shelton, Quentin Moore, and Zach Winkle. So some heavy hitters in that last batch of cars. And we'll tell you a little bit more about Eric Monaco when he comes up to qualify here, which should be the next car up. He'll be car number 84 this season as they come off to number 4. Austin Reed also will be running his first season in the Cup Series. Will be driving the number 6 Valvoline Ford in the Castrol GTX Cup Series this coming season. He'll be one of the drivers running for Rookie of the Year. Austin comes across the start-finish line, 49.001 on his lap. His speed 183.67 miles per hour. So on his cool down lap goes Austin Reed as we have about 5 cars left to qualify for this event. So moving up the track to build momentum for his next qualifying run. This is the man we were talking about a minute ago here, car number 84, the Action Vans Buick. This is Eric Monaco. Now this is a name has not been heard of in a long time in the NNSCRA, according to Seth Cole himself, the boss man of the NNSCRA. Eric Monaco is a guy who goes way back to the days of the defunct for now Oreo Truck Series in the NNSCRA. That one of the series that was started back in 2011 when Seth Cole started this channel. And Eric Monaco was part of that series. So this is it. So he's making an NNSCRA comeback after about I don't know how many years, but Nonetheless, though, he is going to be running both this series and the Cup Series as well, too. In the Cup Series, he's going to be running the number 68, or I should say the 66, I should say, Trop Arctic Toyota in that series this season. So, in addition to the number 84 Action Bands Buick, which he's driving right now, this is the 1987, or 1988 Buick, I should say, he's driving here in this event. Off corner number 4 comes Eric Monaco, and he'll be taking the checker flag on his qualifying lap here at Daytona for the Goodies 300 as he crosses the start-finish line. And that lap tallies at 47.949 seconds. His speed 187.7 miles per hour. So a great lap for Eric Monaco, and of course he has not forgotten anything about driving in this series as well too. So we'll see how he shakes out after the last 4 qualifiers will be up. So with three cars left to go here, we are on to the 4th to the last car. This is Matt Haas driving the number 88 Winter Circle Apparel Buick. Haas looking to Haas in his only series he'll be running this season out of the 2 I'm doing, I should say. So, but anyway, Matt, one of the veterans in the NNSCRA and the NRSL, I believe too. So, in other words, he's about done it all when it comes to NR 2003 offline racing. Haas will bring it through turns number 1 and 2 on his qualifying lap. Again, the pole time to beat, 47.637 seconds, set by Carson Gum at a speed of almost 189 miles per hour, 188.929 to be exact. The closest somebody ever came to beating that lap was Daniel Bouchard by 3/1000th of a second. As they come to the start-finish line, here comes Matt Haas as coming to the checker flag. And a 48.744 for Matt Haas. His speed 184.638 miles an hour. So Haas gets his Buick shut down as he'll bring it around the racetrack here and take it back to the garage area and get it ready for a race trim. As we got 3 qualifiers left to go here, and one of the heaviest hitters, or I should say 2 of the heaviest hitters coming up right now. And here comes one of those heavy hitters, and ladies and gentlemen, here's Jessica Shelton, car number 89, the Coors Milling Ford. Of course, if you know if it's a Bill Elliott scheme, you know it's Jessica Shelton behind the wheel of that car. As they come to the backstretch here, Shelton driving one of the few Fords in the field this season. As we mentioned, there's about 5 of them in the field this season. And she is the last Ford to try to qualify for today's race. 47.637, again, the time to be here. Shelton across the start-finish line. She's got that Ford really screaming across the start-finish line here, to take the green flag. Keeping that car right down on the bottom of the racetrack here. There's the number 89 machinist. She comes off turn number 2 now. Jess, of course, won the Goodies 300 the first season we did the Mello Racing Series. She won this race the first time, and she finished 2nd the last season in the Goodies 300 to Quentin Moore. So she's always done. She's had the knack for doing so well in the 300 miler, but never in the 500 until last season when she finally won the Daytona 500. In the Castrol GTX Cup Series. As they come to start-finish line, Shelton breaks it across the start-finish line. Let's see how she does. And 47.756 for Jess. Her speed ties to 188.458 miles an hour. So a very fast lap for Shelton as she brings her car into the garage area. 2 qualifiers left to go here for the Goodies 300. So from one heavy hitter to another, here comes the man who won the Goodies 300 last season in the Mello Racing Series. This is Quentin Moore, car number 97. That's the Morgan Shepherd specialty he's driving, the Fisher Engineering Buick. as he also associated sponsor with Winter Circle Apparel. And just like Jessica Shelton is with Bill Elliott, though, if it's a Morgan Shepherd car, you know it's going to be Quentin Moore driving the car. So it's a lot of people drive their cars based on their favorite drivers or some of their all-time favorite drivers, I should say, in this series. And Quentin's one of those drivers who is one of those drivers that does that. So he's rounding through turn 3 and 4 on his qualifying lap as he's already taken the green flag. He'll take the checkered flag this time by the number 97 Fisher Engineering Buick. Comes across the start-finish line. He'll take the checker flag on this lap. Quentin stops the timers at... Ooh, he is not going to like that lap. Quentin Moore is, unfortunately for him, the slowest out of the cars. Apparently the setup missed on the number 97 machine. 49.263 on that lap. And so he is now the slowest of the 39 cars that's qualified so far. His speed, 182.693 miles per hour. So Quentin Moore will not be happy with that lap at all. As we have one car left to qualify for the Goody's 300. Can anybody knock Carson Gum off? We'll find out. And so that will bring up our last qualifier for the Goody's 300 for the Mello Yello Racing Series. This is season opener. This is Zach Winkle. He's the last car to qualify, car number 99. No sponsor on his Buick, but he is a man who knows how to get it done in the Cup Series, and at least in the Cup Series here at Daytona. He is a former Daytona 500 winner. He'll come to the start-finish line to take the green flag. See if he can try to knock off the pole sitter, Carson Gum, whose lap still stands at 47.637 seconds. As Zach's trying to beat that lap here. Several cars have come close to that lap, but not quite snatched it. So we'll see what happens here. Takes that Buick off into turn number 3 right now. Winkle will be driving in this series, and also he will be driving the number 12 Alltel Ford in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. His teammate to Dylan Young for the Penske Motorsports camp. Crosses the checker flag he comes. Does he knock Carson Gum off the pole? No, he does not. 49.220 seconds for Zach Winkle. His speed, 182.853 miles an hour. So Carson Gum will be your pole sitter for the Season 3 Mello Yello Racing Series Goody's 300. From Daytona, we'll be back for the starting lineup right after this. So we're back at Daytona International Speedway here. Qualifying completed for the Goody's 300, as you see right there. Carson Gum holds on for the pole for this Season 3 running of this event at Daytona. Qualifying outside pole will be Daniel Bouchard. Starting in row 2 will be Caleb Fogler in car number 3, or car 22, I should say, one of the rookies in this field this season. And beside him will be Logan Williams in row number 2. Third row will be Keith Batson and Raphael Duke. Row 4, Jessica Shelton and Audra Baranowskis, a pair of ladies on that row. Fifth row will see Roberto Crown Jr. in 31 and number 15, Stephen Colon. Row 6 will be Jesse Turner in 47. And how about Eric Monaco? His first race back since an Oreo Truck Series race. He starts race in 12th position outside row number 6. Row 7 will be Amanda Evans and Joshua Osborne. Those two tied for a position right there, but because of lower car number, Amanda Evans will have the position at 13. Osborne in 14th. Starting in row number 8 will be Jackson Haywood, who was the first car out to qualify. He's alongside Nathan Ormond, who was the third car out to qualify in at number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. The 9th row will be Brian Brommer and Val Moscow. Row 10 will be Gabby Conklin and Nick Gunther. 11th row will be Henry Sanford and James Sykes. 12th row will be Chrisman Morgan and number 88, Matt Haas. The 13th row will be Cole Deaver, the other member of the GM Goodwrench team. His number 8 car qualified 25th. Seth Cole, the boss man of the NNSCRA, starts in 26th position outside of row 13. Row 14 will be John Andrews and Daniel Boyles. Row 15, Phil Parker and Paul Minnick. Row 16, Laura Chung and Destin Bowling. Row 17 will be Austin Reed and Alex Miller. Row number 18 will be James Henry and Allison Rain. Row 19, excuse me, will be Dylan Young and Zach Winkle. And starting shotgun in row 20, Zachary Fitzwater and Quentin Moore, the defending race champion of the Goodies 300 in the Mello Yello Racing Series. So that's your starting lineup for the Goodies 300 here. And for now, as always, if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got inner races, we got gaming videos, we got inner online videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole, desires to have for his channel. Be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series, the main series on this channel. And if you want in on his future seasons of his series, then please be sure to get Seth. Be sure to get with Seth, and he'll get you going. And also be sure to check out our other two channels that does NNSCRA offline, the NNSCRA Spectrum Mobile Cup Series from Dylan Young, Dylan Young's channel X867530985AX, and X867530985AX is the name of his channel. Excuse me on that one. And also check out the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series from Thrash Maniac 99, which is Levi McIntyre's channel. And of course keep up with the Duracell Cup Series from Seth Cole's channel as well, too, on this very channel you're watching here. Anyway, for now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA celebrating 10 years of off-road racing at its best. We'll see you for Daytona 500 qualifying from Daytona International Speedway.